Sometimes people might think you're absolutely crazy when you tell them about an idea you have, but in this video, we're gonna prove that you don't need to listen to them. Sometimes it's the craziest ideas that work out best. From jumping over the Grand Canyon to using geese as security guards, here are 15 craziest ideas that actually worked. Hey guys, this is American Eye today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 15, the tempura car. As usual, we've all heard that cars running on fossil fuels is bad. We need an alternative fuel source or global warming will all come and get us. But what if we could actually run on something that will smell good and can even be used to cook with? Japanese researchers got to work and actually developed a car that runs on tempura cooking oil. This oil is a popular method for cooking fish, shrimp, and veggies. It'll make just about anything delicious. This idea was presented during a biofuel rally in Paris 2007, and this seems like it could work well for the country of Japan. Number 14, nightclub energy. When your heart is pulsating to the beat of the music at the club, your body could actually be generating electricity that could be harnessed. Normally, when you go to the club, you are full of energy. Scientists have taken this a little bit literally and are looking for a way to harness the energy you use when busting a move into electrical power. With so many lights and booming sound systems, nightclubs in particular are looking for a way to cut back their power bill. A bar in London called Surya is equipped with springs underneath the dance floor, so when dancers move on it, it creates electrical energy and is stored in a battery. The owner of the club says it can generate 60% of the club's electricity. Number 13, stapleless stapler. Gosh darn staples, poisoning our lands, blocking the sun, and killing our wills all at the same time? This product known as the stapleless stapler, at last, will forever rid us of those horrific little Amazon burners for good. Wait, hold on, staples are bad? We might have stapled our fingers before, but you may have never known that it was destroying the environment. This design cuts out tiny little strips of paper and uses those strips to stitch up to 5 pieces of paper together. Some websites claim that staples tend to rust quickly and rust even faster in humid environments like near the ocean. These rusty little planet destroyers come off the paper and end up in animal habitats. Number 12, the water talkie. The 11-year-old Richie Stachowski went on a family trip to Hawaii with his family when he came up with this interesting invention. He began diving underwater and kept on seeing beautiful marine life. He wanted to be able to talk to his family about this experience while he was diving. He realized that there wasn't too many advancements in underwater acoustics, so he began researching on how sound might be transferred in this environment. Eventually, he came up with a prototype known as the water talkie. This is a conical device with a blow valve that allows swimmers to talk to each other. The sounds can be heard rather clearly up to about 15 feet. At the age of 13, he sold his patented idea to the Wild Planet Toys for an undisclosed large amount of money. It almost looks like an underwater flask in any case. Number 11, hands across America. This stunt took a lot of people to perform. On May 25, 1986, a total of approximately 6.5 million people linked hands as a part of a human chain that actually stretched across the entire country. Over 25 major cities participated in this around the country. This was in order to raise money for charities to help fight homelessness and hunger. Several celebrities made appearances like Brooke Shields, Yoko Ono, President Ronald Reagan, Michael Jackson, Robin Williams, and many others. This actually led to a few protests as well, but only because some states wanted to join. Hawaii was very upset and wanted to remind people that Hawaiians are Americans too. Either way, Americans united and managed to raise $34 million. Number 10, earmuffs. When winter comes around, a handy pair of earmuffs are sure to warm you up. The design was fairly simple, but these things weren't around until the late 19th century. 15-year-old Chester Greenwood finally came up with the idea when he was getting tired of having cold ears all the time in his home state of Maine. He basically just took some wire and added some fur on both ends. He kept on improving his original model, and eventually, in the 1870s, he obtained a patent. Such a simple idea turned out extremely profitable when he was paid to keep the ears of soldiers warm during the First World War. He didn't just stop there, he came up with other inventions like the steel tooth rake, a design for a tea kettle, and also wooden spools for wire and thread. Number 9, the geese police. Everyone stay alert, the geese police have taken the streets, and you really don't want to get pecked by these guys. This is a real photo and is practiced in China. Police dogs can get a little bit pricey, but they found a way to utilize these birds for protection of the state. There's even one case that reports that the geese were actually able to stop a perpetrator from breaking into a police station. Get those geese a medal. Number 8. Selling fresh air. You might not always think about it, but you probably take breathing fresh air for granted. In places like China, the reality of pollution has set in and is causing some strange trends to go down. In places such as Linfen, China, the air quality is absolutely horrifying. The city is basically surrounded by coal mines, and breathing air here would be like smoking 2 packs of cigarettes in a day. Even cities like Shanghai or Beijing can seemingly have shortage of fresh air. Some entrepreneurs from England and Canada have come up with the crazy idea of selling their fresh air. First bottled water, now bottled air. Each bottle can fit 150 breaths of fresh air, and it's becoming surprisingly popular. People who have used it say that their throat feels much better and that they feel happier. The problem, though, is really much larger than China. Fresh air shortages can also occur naturally after dust storms or wildfires, and who knows how much longer until we're completely out. Number 7. Norwegian Prisons. Norway is a country which is high on human rights. They've even banned Walmart from their country due to questions about where they get their products. So it shouldn't come as a huge surprise that Norwegian prisons are some of the best in the world. Some might even have more accommodations than luxury hotels. Here in this photo, taken at Skien prison, you notice a private bathroom and a shower to the right and a decent flat screen to the left. It really kind of looks more like a dorm room than a prison cell. There's even been a case where an American was caught smuggling drugs into Norway, and they refused to send him back to the US since they considered our prisons to be inhumane. Prisons nowadays in the US just turn out to be criminal academies, and many people will learn to be better criminals after doing time. Norway saw a huge decrease in crime when their prison conditions improved. Number 6. Sonic Tech. Law enforcement and police from around the world are beginning to use what's known as sonic cannons, or long-range acoustic devices, as a form of less than lethal technology. These sonic cannons can emit painful noise at a targeted area, which people describe as being loud. The law enforcement experimenting or currently using this claim that it's been proven to disperse crowds from loitering. The first time this technology was used was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2009, and the LRADs emit an extremely loud, annoying noise that really no one is able to tolerate except for the police, who are expecting it. The streets clear out quickly as people are plugging their ears. Number 5. Drone cars. With all the popularity of drones in recent years, you might ask yourself, why can't they just make one big enough to fit a person inside and let us drive it around? Well, don't worry, China is on it. China calls it their mega drone, and it's big enough to fit a person. This was unveiled in Las Vegas and has a total of 8 propellers, 2 on each end. The co-founder of the company, called Ehang, says that it's 10 times better than sitting in a Ferrari. He also said the inner kid in us would all want to fly, and he's trying to make that dream happen. If you ask me, it doesn't really seem too safe if everyone was flying these things. You can only imagine how many crashes there'd be. Would you be willing to get behind the wheel of a drone car? Number 4. Jumping the Grand Canyon. Robbie Knievel laughs in the face of danger when he cleared the Grand Canyon with a motorcycle jump that measured 223 feet. If he failed, he would have certainly died since there was no nets, no harnesses, no ropes in case of an accident. On May 20th, 1999, he decided to go through with this courageous stunt. His father, Evel Knievel, had always considered doing this stunt, but never went through with it. The canyon was 1,500 feet deep to the floor. Luckily, he made it across, but not without a few injuries. The landing wasn't exactly perfect, and he tumbled off the bike at a high speed on the landing ramp. It could have been a lot worse, though, but he was examined by paramedics shortly after. In the end, though, he still basically jumped the Grand Canyon. Number 3. Professional traffic jam waiters. Don't feel like waiting in traffic anymore? Why don't you just pay someone to do it for you? Traffic jams can reach immense sizes in China, and there's actually a service where if you're stuck in traffic, you can actually pay someone to wait it out for you. A motorcycle will come and pick you up, while the other person drives your car back home for you. Traffic jams can get quite intense in China, so this might be the best option to get somewhere you need to be. Number 2. Your living golf tee. We understand that golfing can occasionally get boring. Grown men chasing after a little white ball on a massive field might seem to play tricks on your mind occasionally, which might inspire some crazy ideas. Would you trust your best friend to hit a golf ball out of your mouth? That takes some serious confidence that your friend isn't going to mess up. You might have a serious trip to the dentist coming up soon to get those teeth back. Surprisingly, no one was hurt in the making of the stunt. And number 1. Panda suits and pandas. What might seem like a very strange image of a guy in a panda suit carrying onto a panda cub is actually pretty strange. Chinese wildlife experts dress up like a fluffy panda in order to help baby pandas live in the wild. People are actually covered in panda urine and feces to hide the human smell. Pandas will become too anxious by human contact and if they don't see their mother soon. Luckily, they've been tricked by the scientists' disguises, and they're helping this little guy until he's ready to be released onto his own. They just grow up so fast, don't they?